So today we're talking about 2% product knowledge, 98% understanding human beings. So let's take that concept and apply it to the world of real estate today. So when you got licensed, I'm sure, and some of you here may be newly licensed, and that's great. I just want to set you up for failure today. So just know that 75% of you won't be in this room next year at this time, according to the National Association statistics. I'm here to help you. I'm here to keep you from failing and becoming that statistic. So let's talk about 2% product knowledge and 98% understanding human beings. So if you've gotten licensed, this is where you are. You've passed your test. Congratulations. You know everything there is to know about agency and about disclosure and about the code of ethics and about contracts. You know all of those things because that's what was required to pass your test. How many feel qualified? Exactly. Everybody passes the test, right? It's one of those things that we all do. So what is required here, all right, from your license law in order to get you to a successful status? And success might be different for any of you. But let's talk about your funnel. And there's a lot of talk on the internet today about funnels. And so I'll just take a moment to explain it to you. The license law is only a component. It's a component that you're going to need that's required by the law for you to be able to practice real estate in whatever state that you're in. Is that a component? Is that something that needs to go into your funnel? Absolutely. That's the first step. But my friends, it's only a component. It's not going to make you a success. That's part of the 2% product knowledge, right? You need to understand statistical analysis of your market. You need to be able to talk to people about the days on market. You need to be able to talk about the price differential. For pity's sakes, you need to be talking about the difference in people when it comes to a client that's looking at a $400,000 property versus that same client that may be looking for an $85,000 property. Do you think those people have different personalities? How are you going to relate? How are you going to get those people to know, like, and trust you and be able to lead them into a successful transaction? 98% understanding human beings. So what I'm going to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're going to succeed in the real estate business, it's 2% product knowledge, 98% understanding people and being able to relate to people. What does that mean exactly? Well, here's some other components that I just came up with on the moment for the class during the break, and I thought it might be interesting perhaps for you to understand and let me give you some input. How many of you think that networking is going to be important to the success in your business applied to real estate? I'm going to tell you the 250 people on average that will attend your funeral are your biggest advocates. The biggest advocate you have to being a success in this business. And why is that? Because they are the influencers. Those people who believe in you, that are your friends, that are your family, who will recommend you, who will be an advocate for you. Those folks are really going to be a bigger determinant than your success. So how do you network? Believe it or not, there's a skill that we teach about networking. How do you go out and be effective at building a network, your circle of influence, so that those people will become your advocates? What about communication skills? Would you think communication skills are important? You know, it's amazing to me, and I'm going to tell you today, I think that email, while necessary and a component, is probably your least effective communication tool. And I'll just ask, how many of you have 70 emails in your inbox today? I know I had 126 today. How many of you think I'm going to go through every one of those? I'm really not. So if you're texting and emailing, or you're emailing a client and you haven't texted or called them to say, listen, I'm sending you an email, you need to look at it, there's a high probability of a chance Those folks are never going to get your email. And then you're going to call and expect an email, and they're going to say, I didn't get your email. That email might be out in cyberspace. All right, so communication is important. How you verbally communicate to your clients, how you read body language and respond appropriately, how you mirror their personalities back to them is going to be a big determinant on whether they like you and how are you at forming relationships that are long-lasting. They need to know who you are. They need to know why you're there. They need to know that you have their best interest in heart and you're looking at what's good for the client and not just what's good for your pocketbook. That's a key to long-lasting success. Because if you sell someone a house today, statistically, in 7.5 years, they're going to sell it and move on, and you want to be the one they call. The National Association of Realtors says that in 2 years, the people who bought their home will not even recognize or remember who their realtor was. And I'm going to ask you, that's probably because 75% of them aren't here, but I'm going to ask you, what are you doing to further that relationship? What's the residual value of a relationship that you build with people? Real estate's a relationship business. So how effective are you at communicating that? Social media. How many think social media is important? Sure. Social media is a part of the funnel. It's a component. We need to be effective. You need to be somewhat efficient at social media. I have an agent who works in my office, and we just had a meeting and a conversation a few weeks ago. And I will tell you, she's excellent. She manages social media. She's a technological guru. She knows how to get things done on the internet, and she knows how to market through social media. But my conversation with her was that if this is her focus, and if this is what you are relying on alone to be a success, it's just not going to happen. Social media is important. It's a component to your success. But if you don't get outside of your comfort zone and you're comfortable sitting at your computer and simply doing social media and posting on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn and doing all those things, and you're not having effective communication face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball, on the phone with clients and prospects, if people aren't coming up and you're not making yourself visible in the community so that you become the community expert about real estate in your market, you're not going to be totally successful using social media alone. But let's put it in the funnel because it is necessary. Let's talk about the internet a little bit. Is it important to have a website? Absolutely. Does it take time to manage the internet? Yes. Let's put that into your funnel so that we end up, as things come out the bottom, that you are a success and not a statistic. I want to have a heart-to-heart with you for a moment. You know, there are those who are in this business because they watched HGTV and they thought, I would love to be in the real estate business. Let me explain that when you enter into this industry, into this business, it's about relationship building. It's about having integrity and honesty. And it's about putting the needs of others first before yours. Every successful real estate person that I know, that I'm friends with, people that I've coached, people who've confided in me, who make six-figure incomes in this business, everyone has something in common. And that is they put the needs of their clients ahead of their own. What does that mean? It means that the quantity and the quality of their service is what makes them a success. This is a service business. My friends, if you can't exceed the expectations in service, the quantity and in the quality of the service that you provide, you're not going to succeed in this business. What kind of drive do you have? And are you persistent? Can you be persistent? Can you work through failure to get to where you need to go? I just want to share with you for a moment that these are all components. And I could spend the afternoon speaking and teaching about individually how to network, how to be a more effective communicator, both verbally, with your body language, and with everything that you say and do is a reflection of your success to your clients.